Let's tell everybody we're going live. Let's go. Let's go live on TikTok. Hey guys, how's it going? All right, where is our... Hey guys, good to see you. Thanks for tapping the screen and sharing the live. What I'm doing right now is making a little notes for our ICD10 book while I'm waiting on everybody to show up. So this 60.1 way down here at the bottom. So I'm in the 2022, but I'm in the AAPC version of the ICD10 book. And while we're waiting on people to show up, I'm just going to do a couple of ICD10 notes. And I'm on page 747. The diagnosis code is K60.1 for chronic anal fissure. Now, what they fixed in the procedure when they diagnosed the patient with this chronic anal fissure is a chronic symptomatic posterior anal fissure. So it's just a few extra little fancy words. They also did a posterior anal fistulectomy with internal spinectomy or something. So I'm just going to write some notes about that. So AKA will be my first thing. Instead of it being called chronic anal fissure, they called it chronic symptomatic posterior. It's hard to write with the book laying up like this. Maybe I'm going to lay it down and not be up here on this. There we go. Move it, laptop. There we go. That might be easier. Let's see. Chronic, symptomatic. This is from a practice question. Just some AKA terms. Sometimes it's confusing to figure out what they are saying and what's in the book. How's everybody doing on this Monday? Chronic posterior. Today was the first day of school back for the boys. All went well. I did not get a call today. The procedure that they did posterior fissure ectomy removal. Today's live, we're going to be doing some stuff that I don't even know how to do. So I've avoided learning how to code these for the longest time. So y'all are going to have to help me. School was good. They left at 8:15 this morning, got on the bus, and they got home at 4:20. So long day. Let's see. Hey, Dawn. She says she's scared to death to take her test. Aw. Nana, 15 years in medical collections, bills and appeals. Oh my. And she's just started. Hey, Ternessa is here. I hope you're feeling well. It's good to see you. School was good. Hey, Go-Kart. Hey, sweet. Hey, Kimberly. Good to see the butterflies. Twinkle is on vacation for a week with her family. A spur of the moment thing, so we'll miss Twinkle for this live probably. I think so. Burgundy. She took part 1 of her online exam today. Oh, tell us all about it. How was it? Was it stressful to get logged on and get the exam started? Shaking out the books went okay and your camera was fine? And then how was the exam questions? Did anything I've ever said help out at all? Oh, Miss Edwards, I wasn't going to say nothing, but great. That's awesome. I'll see you in the morning too. I'm good with ICD10, but CPT is stressing me out. Well, tonight's live is going to be over something I'm not too good at. It's those from the C spine all the way down to the S spine, those surgeries or injections. When they say like they went from L2 to S1, how many injections is that? Especially if they do bilaterally. So, oh, it's so hard. Like, do you do L1 to L2? Is that one space, or do you have to go to the L4 to be one space, or sections or whatever? Those are always so confusing for me. So we're going to look at those tonight. Sharta said her test is next Saturday in person, and I'm so nervous. This will be my 6th time. Be sure and look at YouTube. Last night's live for all the hernias and meshes is up already for y'all to look at. So you know you're going to get a hernia repair. So maybe that'll help. You've been in chiropractic for 16 years. Maybe Dawn is about to help us all out learn this. All right, Burgundy, give us the lowdown, girl. Let's see. Can you give a clear explanation of the differences between 51 and 59? 59 is your last resort modifier. You only use that modifier if no other modifiers will work with that in that situation. It's the most misused modifier in all of real life coding. It will get you more denials. 51 is for multiple procedures. And then 59 is for a distinct, different procedural service. So let's say I am doing some punch biopsies. I'm punching the skin with those little punctures and I'm getting some biopsies. But then I want to go do an excision. I'm going to put down that punch biopsy and I'm going to grab a scalpel and I'm going to do an excision. That is 2 distinct procedures because I have 2 different instruments, 2 different surgeries. That's your 59. AAPC uses 59 more often than it really technically should be. Yeah. Multiple procedures is used for under the same header, under the same subsection, and you do multiple of the same thing, you're going to use the 51. So I hope that helps. Do you have any good notes that are written in the books that I can find somewhere? Yes. My website, Medical Coding by Jen, you can go to the tab that says Book Prep. So it's medicalcodingbyjen.com. You can go to the drop-down menu tab that says CPT Book Prep. You've got pictures of my notes. If you click on the picture, it'll give you the instructions and tell you what to do and how I'm making those notes. Also, we have a big, huge study group, which is on this Discord app. And you download that app, set yourself up with an account. Also on my website, Medical Coding by Jen, there's a tab that says social media. You'll click on that and it will take you to the link. There's the little britches that'll be there on the website. Looks just like that. And you can go straight into our Discord app. Also here on my profile, I've got the number ID for our study group. Our study group is super cool because it has practice question rooms for questions, what to expect on exam day. E&M resources and copies of my notes are posted. At least screenshots of a few pages are here that you can go through and look at. We've even got practice exam questions, all kinds of stuff. In this room, you just scroll backwards till you find what you're looking for. Other people post copies of their notes or things that they're doing for sure. I have lots of stuff in these rooms too. Pictures of examples and how I do things. If you want or need page by page notes of everything that I have, they're on my website too under notes or on Etsy. But I like to teach y'all how to do it all for free. And that's on my website too. Let me see. Do I have that one tabby thingy up? Let's see. Where's the website? Do I have that one? Yeah. medicalcodingbyjen.com. That little website. And we've got the social media link where you can get the link for the Discord. You just hit join now, throw you right in there, but you got to have the Discord app downloaded on your phone. And that'll take you to that. And then the shop has the notes if you want to print them out. And tutoring is scheduled there on Book Online. And CPT Book Prep has page by page so that you know how to make your own notes. There are some prep videos here for digestion in that system, in that area on the website. But YouTube has the rest of them, of all my how to do all these free tutoring 2-hour lives. Those are all repeats and over there. And then when I go live on YouTube and just do book prep, those are over there on YouTube too. So you could go code by code with me and do them at the same time. Check messages. Thanks for the shares and the taps, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, let me get back there. That's the good notes. Thank you for the share. It's been helpful making up my books. I was getting short on time. The last 3 questions had to guess. That's good. That's good. So you did 50 questions in 2 hours. It goes by so fast, doesn't it, Burgundy? It just flies. Time just rolls. So, okay. 3 questions we had to guess on. We can miss 15 of them today. Yep, because 30 in total. Okay. Yes, we're going to go over the injections. I might be not as well versed in this area, but the more I teach it, the more I'll learn too. So we'll learn together. I need help with labeling my book. Which one is most important to label? None of them. Don't label anything. I mean, as far as tabbing or anything, I don't tab anything. Labeling, you only need to label your CPT book if you have CPT code descriptors that start out with the same exact descriptors. So let me see if I can find an example real quick. Yeah, so when you have two parent codes that start out with psychological, or neuropsych, test. They start out with the same descriptors. You need to write the differences, label, I guess is what you would call it, the difference between these two codes. This one's done by this set of two is done by an MD. This set of two is done by a tech. Go through the entire book, do that. Along with doing that, you go through the entire book and write the page number down beside every red CPT code where it's located. I have the column number, like there's 1, 2 columns on the page. You don't need that, but you need to go through and label that too. I also mark if any of the add-on codes can be timesed. I note that they are timesed. It's just helpful for me. I mark all the do nots in red underneath CPT codes. And when it tells me to use a code with another code, I double star and underline those in blue. And that's super helpful. Super helpful. I put the clinical examples on the page with it. Hold on, I gotta get the door. Just in case. Let me check out. Yep.
Oh, I was just going to tell you.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at it. I built it like towards the wall. But since there's two.
Yeah. I hope they're going to fit in that room.
They're big.
They're big. I was like, full size. I was trying to give some room.
I mean, I'll kind of show you. But this is supposed to be over here.
Yeah.
So I can just flip it. I mean, it'll work because they both have this on the side. Then the other one I can build the other way.
I like them
now
big.
We can leave it like this, and then tomorrow when I build the other one, I can build it the other way.
Yeah, the kids have to share a room, guys. So I'm building them beds that have bookshelves. So this wall, and then a mattress, and then a bookshelf. And then James will have the same thing so that when they're laying in their mattress, they don't stare at each other. They can see bookshelves, you know. So anyway, that is cool. That is cool.
So yeah,
they're going to be a tight fit. Huh?
I'll switch this one over for now, just because this is supposed to be on this side. So when I build the other one tomorrow,
okay.
When I build the other one tomorrow, I'll just put it the other way around.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool beans. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah, this desk I might have to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get the desk out of here. He was already gonna put it in the garage. I just didn't do it. But yeah, we'll get it in there tonight. Thank you. Thank you. The class enjoyed the lesson of how to build beds, right? Huh? I don't know. No, my internet's not out. I don't think so. So that's a local in town who has been home with his mom from college, and he couldn't get a job because he's only home for the summer. So that's like 8 weeks or so. And he was having a hard time finding a job. So I said, well, I got some chores for you can help me out with. So I'm helping him. Let him put together the boys' beds so that he can have some money before he goes back to college. Nice guy. Ricky. All right. Great. We're going over injections. I need help labeling my books. So I was going over that, how to label them. And my book prep page on my website has more labeling ideas. Everything's under medical coding by Jen, YouTube, all that stuff. So even my social media tab, on my website under medicalcodingbyjen.com even has clickable links for the Facebook, the TikTok, and YouTube right there. But everything's under medical coding by Jen. You'll have thousands of hours by now, I guess, since I've been doing this since April of last year. 2 hours, 3 nights a week, free here on TikTok. Every one of those recordings that TikTok saved, I downloaded and posted up on YouTube for free. There's even a free workshop on there for 3 hours. So thousands of hours of me showing you some tips and tricks. I teach you how to pass your medical coding certification exam, whether it's AAPC, AHEMA, or NHA, From the exam point of view, you've got a lifetime to learn coding. That's what I think. And if you just need to pass the certification exam, that's what I specialize in, is how to prep for that. You're welcome, Hannah. Hey, mailman, mailma'am, mailma'am. Hey, Butter Pecan. I have 2 weeks. Would you spend that time going through the book labeling? There's plenty of videos, including TikToks, on where to begin, what to do first. When you go through my TikToks too, since you're here, there is going to be one come up pretty quickly that's going to say there's the pens that I use. Where do I start? It's labeled, where do I start? How do you do your anatomy? How do we do ICD10 book prep is right there. And then where do I start? That's the cool video right there. It's got the eyeball up in the top corner. This will show you how to label your book for sure. It's a really good video. It's only 3 minutes, but will do you some good. Plus, if you join the Discord group, you will have rooms broke down by just ICD-10, HIPIC's CPT book prep room, which will show you exactly what to do. Plus, you can ask questions in here and get more help in case I don't have a lot of time to go through all that. But you're going to get to see the notes too while you're here hanging out with me. Hey, Kashmir, good to see you. Oh, no, Dawn, y'all are. I hope I can make a small difference and help you guys out, which will help your family out, which will help your community out, which will help all of us, right? So I'm just glad y'all are here trying to listen to me. I just hope I make a difference. Queen DD, she starts her class on Thursday. I want to join your group. So what should I do to sign up for first? Just download your Discord app. Go to my website, click the join Discord, and go to the Discord room in there. Watch the video that's up at the very top of that chat room. And then that way you learn how to navigate Discord. And just get started. The main thing about your course is what you're going to need is all your practice exam questions. Yeah. There's tons of lectures and videos and stuff. Just play them in the background while you're washing dishes or folding laundry. Don't worry about so much about taking a ton of notes from the course or the lectures. Listen to it, of course, but your main focus and what I want you to grab from your course is every practice question. Save it all in one document, and then you're going to use that document to make notes in your books with. I take my test in 2 weeks. You should spend more time labeling my book or studying the test. Yeah, you need to have your book all prepped. Every single CPT code from beginning to end needs to be gone through. If the CPT codes are totally different, that one doesn't have anything in on that page. To where, I'm in the wrong, I'm already in the, let's see, if the CPT codes are different, like this one is application of modality, the next one is therapeutic procedure, the next one is application of modality, they're different, then you don't have to do a lot with them at all. I make sure if they do say the word each, I know those can be times, and I circle those. If it's an open or closed procedure in orthopedics or musculoskeletal, I circle those in green or orange, depending on which one it is. Super helpful to do that. And then write all your practice exam questions. If you only have 2 weeks, and you don't have any book prepped and you haven't practiced the CPC exam questions and then gotten all of those into the books, Yeah, it takes about 60 hours to update the CPT book the way I really like it to be done. And then you need to practice those questions. So when you go in to AAPC, and let me get logged on real quick, and you bring up any practice exam questions to practice with, you're going to need to be able to just look at those answers like this and say, okay, this one and this one are the same. I know it's probably a difference between this one. Would I use the 50 modifier or am I going to use the 51 modifier? 50 and 51, our differences are 50 is bilateral, 51 is our multiple procedures. So let's see, what did we do in this question? We did patient undergoes surgery to do what? There is a bilateral eye thing that is going to get done. So, yep, it's just going to be bilateral, not multiple procedures. So we probably know our answer is going to be the 22. Let's see. And then we hit grade and see if we got it right. And you need to be able to do that without really needing a lot of help from your CPC exam booklet. See, I got it right. You need to be able to work them out or look for similarities like that and just note the one difference and be able to answer it that quickly. If it takes you more than 30 seconds and you're searching and you're looking up every CPT code, you're probably not ready for the exam and you might want to push it off. But if you can go to each one of your practice questions and do them super quick like that, it'll be you'll be ready. You'll be ready for sure. Like circling the drain right here, we've got time would be a factor. Is there any time in this question at all? 55 minutes, anything over 54 minutes, we know we have to add the 17 code. Click it and go. That's how you need to be able to, after you do these practice questions over and over again, you'll be able to figure out your rationale and get through them pretty quickly. If you can do it like this, then you're ready for your exam. See? Got that one right too. All right. And you'll get better at the codes and thinking of it in your head by the time you finish writing up this whole book too. All that helps. Thanks, Tricia, for the roses. I've never ending helpful. Aw, thanks, Annie. You're so sweet. You're never ending helpful to everybody. Thanks so much. Hey, Jen. Good to see you. Hey, PJ. Good to see you. Indeed. You do make a difference. I hope so. Annie, you have such a good outlook. Aw. Well, I'm 51, going on 52 or something like that. I don't know. I was born in 71, so I'm trying not to think about how old I am, but, there ain't many days left compared to what there was to begin with. So, you start thinking about, what am I going to leave behind? Yeah, I got my 3 boys, but, what else can I do with what I've learned here on this spinning rock in the middle of the solar system? What else can I do to help? So just trying to help. Perfect, Sass. Thank you. Do you suggest labeling your book as you go through the course? Absolutely. With every practice question. So if your practice question was this answer with that diagnosis code, write a couple of sentences about it. It was muscular sclerosis. They did therapy 4 times a week. Today was a reevaluation for 30 minutes. I used all of that. Then I go to the diagnosis code books, go to each one of those diagnoses and rewrite that scenario there. That way, if your question is a difference just in the diagnosis codes, what goes first, what goes second, you'll have it at each spot. You could go to each one of the CPTs, each one of the diagnoses, you'll have it there. And writing it 3 times like this will also help you memorize. Okay, I know if it's a re-eval, I need to do my Z code first, and then my G code will go second, because there's a guideline tied to that. You'll figure that out the more you write it. It's good stuff. Got a hold of me. Come on. Come on, camera. When do they change the books? So the new books come out starting in October. We'll get our CPT book, and then we'll trickle in the HIPICS and the ICD10 by the end of the year. AAPC does not change the exam to include any of those new codes on the new books until January 1st of the following year. So nothing's going to change until December 31st for right now. But the new books do start coming out in October, and I'll start updating the 2023 ones during the lives. Website is where? medicalcodingbyjen.com. Just a simple website that they charge me so much money to have. But I needed a place to store stuff, for sure. Got lots of info there. All the free help in the Discord. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's made for gaming guys. Your kids and your husbands or whatever the gamers in your life will be like, you're on Discord? Yes, we're on Discord. But Facebook couldn't hold all the data. Facebook wouldn't let new members see old pictures shared in their group. You can only see the pictures that are shared once you're in the group. So I wanted a place where I could put data that y'all can search through. Even if you just joined today, you could see everything from day one that was in the rooms. We even have study buddy resources, cases and examples of those, CEU help, job resources, and you can see all the people that I've helped pass. Although I think I'm slack in the last 2 weeks. I know people have been telling me they've passed, and I haven't made any copies of them and put their stuff in here. I need help getting those over there. So if y'all see anybody that has said they passed somewhere this week or last week, and it's not underneath this tab, y'all help me put that in here. It's been a crazy week, but it's super cool to see everybody that passed and give everybody some inspiration. All the anatomy help, med help. We have rooms for those too, for med terms. I just posted a bunch of med terms in here too. Yeah, all those abbreviations that you can take and put in your book. Super fun. All right, where was I at? I was over here trying to get this chronic posterior anal fissure with internal spectectomy. I just need to get those 2 more words in here. Internal. So I can move on. Internal something or another. I can't pronounce nothing. And I didn't learn phonics in school. Travis amazes me how he can just read nonsense words and pronounce them. I never learned phonics. So I have a really hard time. If I've heard the word before, most of the time I can say it. Some of those words, I can hear them correctly in my head, but can't get my mouth to make the sounds to say it like it's saying in my head. So weird, but I'm just informal anyway here. Not like a formal teacher. But, all right, so that's what I was writing was internal thingy-majiggy with a posterior fisturectomy. The diagnosis codes were in the alternating color of the lighter green. The procedure is in the dark blue. I like to change up colors. So the procedure that they used was 46200. And then I'll go to that CPT code, write down that diagnosis code with these words again. That way I'll have it in both places. So if I ever see a chronic anal fissure noted as a chronic symptomatic posterior anal fissure, I'll know exactly which one to pick, because AAPC is consistent in their wording. If they're going to call it that one time, they'll call it that all times, even if they switch up the questions. So that's helpful. And I got to plug up my laptop. Where's that charger? Here we go. And then I got to get started on these oh yeah, we got an appointment on Friday. Good. So I got to get started on these examples for tonight, because I know I don't completely know how to do them 100%. And I might take longer with these examples than normal. We're still going to use our process of looking for similarities and doing our process of elimination. Where's my little thingy? There it is. And I'll still show you why the answer is the way it is, and why the wrong answers are the wrong answers. There it is. Okay. So I just need to get down here to the questions that we did last night. We did all these. And I just added it to that live so that I could just keep this going. Those are all the hernias. Super cool hernias. That's the left inguinal hernia. We did that one. We did the breast removal of the nodule. Did we do the otitis media? I don't think we did the operative report on the otitis media. We can start there, maybe. And then I had an elevated PSA. I don't know. Nope, we did those, because there's another abscess for the bum. Okay. I'll show y'all a quick trick on integumentary, though, because this is cool. Sandy, let's see. What did she say? Hey, Kim, how are you doing? It's so good to see you, Miss Kim Wright. It's good to see you. KKS Mom, Miss Jen, what is the starting video on your YouTube? Starting video? Lord, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it's always the same profile picture. So if you're ever looking for me, it's always Medical Coding by Jen. That's YouTube. So let's see, my channel looks like this, and I have 223 videos, and if each one is 2 hours long on average, that's a whole lot of hours. Some of them are longer. I have those shorts, and then my last upload was for 7/31. Good gosh, I'm putting this in Christmas already. For our hernias. I don't know. And that was 2 hours and 7 minutes. Hope that helps. It's Sandra. She took her exam on Saturday. She did not pass, but you now know where your weakest areas are. Awesome. There's also, like, if you don't pass, there's some special exam questions that I don't have access to that are super cool, and I don't know where to find them in the account because These questions weren't offered to me when I took them, and I didn't need them, but I would love to have them now. But if you don't pass, there's something called area of study questions, and they give you 10 questions for like $14 in just like E&M or just in integumentary or just in medicine. They're not the normal A, B, C, D, E, F practice exam questions. They're a different area, but those are harder questions. They have more detail in them, more propaganda in them, and they're a lot trickier codes when you're looking at the differences than just the A, B, C, D, E, and F ones. I wish I had the opportunity to buy them. I need to, I don't know, let my certification fall and be forced to take the exam again and then force to fail to find them and have the opportunity to buy them. Unless I do my final, as a mentor, I have access to a lot of their questions. I've got another site with 500 questions, but they're not as strong of questions as those as the area of study are. They're more complicated, super highfalutin, fancy ones. But if I become an AAPC legit instructor, I'm a guest instructor for them. But if I become an instructor, I have to pay them $3,000 a year to have access to their curriculum. And I really don't like their curriculum, but I like their questions because it's the same ones they use on the exam. So I don't know, but it's $3,000 a year. It's a lot to pay for. We'll see. But those questions are super cool, and you may not be able to buy a lot of them, but maybe just your lowest area, get one set of 10 questions. They're super cool. They are. I only know one person that got any. Sorry, better luck next time. Yes. Been putting in 4 hours a day. That's Goddess. I went back to January 1st for CPT books. Since then, they changed it a bit. I didn't know about HIPICs and diagnosis codes. Just don't give up. Yeah, everybody, don't give up. It's good to know. I liked having 2 times because I only went in there the first time just to see what was on the exam and highlight the codes that were used as possible answers. That way I could go home and study those codes, see why they picked those codes versus other codes in the same section. What's so different about those codes? What anatomy terms did they use? What kind of scenarios were they talking about? And then I studied those scenarios and codes and attempted the exam to really pass that time. Good. All right. So this one in integumentary. Let's get to our 1700 codes. Miss Edwards did this one today without even reading the question. She just counted one thing in the question because our 1700 page has some procedures that are malignant and some are benign. But if we check out our question and we find out that we are dealing with malignancies, all we have to do is count how many things we removed, because if it does happen to be malignant and not benign, all we have to do is count. So we'll check our question, and I do see the word malignant. So all we have to do with this question is count 1, 2, 3 things we removed. We know it's 3 things we removed because they have different sizes on 3 things. So that tells you your answer is which answer? 1, 2, 3. With malignancies, you have to code each individual size of things that you removed. It can't be coded separately or combined or what have you. It just has to be Each one is going to get their own CPT code. So I love it when they say it is malignant, because then I don't have to add nothing. I don't have to do the square footage of anything. I am just going to count 1, 2, 3, pick the answer with 3 CPT codes and move on with my day. Hey, Butter Pecan. I think she's having some issues with her internet. Oh, Lord. Here comes my hard ones. I don't know how to code these very well. I was going to go look and see if there's any differences in my 644s. So let's go see what's going on with 644. I like to look at my second and third digits. If there's any differences in those, then I know I'm going to be under different headers, which is helpful. But of course, these are going to be difficult because it's neuro-spine. And we're not going to get the luxury of having some separate headers, I guess. So 644, what header am I under? My first one is the 90. 64490. I still want to know what header I'm under. So 90 starts on a page without a header notation. It just starts out with the CPT code descriptor. So I'm going to turn back. I'm going to look for a header, which we have on page 487, if you're in the 2022 book, which is the black bold print that says paravertebral spinal nerves and branches. So it says something right underneath it about image guidance, fluoroscope or CT, and any other injection contrast is inclusive components for 64490 through 64495. So we know from that first sentence in our guideline right there, we're not going to be adding any radiology. So we can get rid of 7,000 codes. That gets us down to a 50-50 shot of this question. And if we're bilateral, is that 50 bilateral? It is bilateral. Okay. So if we find out we're doing a bilateral procedure and our CPT code is not bilateral, if it's unilateral, then we know our answer is going to be C. So what is our 64493? That sucker is single level. Is it unilateral or bilateral? Single level means unilateral, right? Yes, unilateral. What's our question say? They're doing the right and the left side of both that and that. So I think it's C, bilateral. That makes sense to me. The 90 is also single level. It already includes fluoroscope. So does the 93. We're cervical and thoracic with 90. With 93, we're lumbar and sacral. This one is lumbar. So yeah, we are 93 all the way. Anybody got questions? So what you do, we got plenty of room on this page. We got some room. We could write fluoroscope guidance. They're doing analgesic and steroid joint injections, right, left, L2 through L4. Code 93 with the 94 times 2. It gets the add-on code times 2. So writing that example right there will be a good thing. I don't have anything on this page. I totally avoided it. But knowing that this does cervical and thoracic, but that your and then your 93 is lumbar and sacral, you definitely could have figured it out pretty quickly just seeing the L's, L4 and L3. Sorry about the camera. It does not like to look all the time. And Bixby, every time I put it back up in the stand that holds it, Bixby wants to come on and take away my camera. It seems like a lot to write for this example, but I start out with just the answer in a different color, and then I work my way into putting anything that I think would be helpful that's not in the CPT code descriptor down for the example. So 64493-50, comma 64494 times 2 times 2. And we're only doing L, change colors, L2, L3, and what did it say? L3 and L4. Now, what I don't understand completely is, so why is it one CPT code? And then why is it the other CPT code times 2? When I have, I don't know, L2, I have, like, to see it visually, I have L2, I have L3, and then I have L4. So does L2 do the 93 code, and this one do the 94, and this one do the 94? That's why we have this one times 2. Maybe. And then we have our 50 modifier because we're doing the right and left side of both, of all 3. Yeah. I know somebody was working orthopedics, or no, chiropractic. AAPC book I noticed shows you the exact place and in the guidelines to go. Yep, you are at a disadvantage if you don't get the AAPC versions of the ICD10 and the HitPix book for the exam, by the way, and they don't tell you that. But that is true. I didn't even have those guidelines highlighted. Boy, you can tell when I do not like something or have not sat down to figure out every little aspect of something is you won't have the guideline highlighted, and I don't have any examples on those pages. I did here, the ones before it, but these nerve branches, I didn't have anything there. And then I only highlighted cervical thoracic versus lumbar and sacral. So when you're making your notes, don't forget to mark up your do nots, your do's. If these were actually not fluoroscope, but they were ultrasound, you're going to go to the category 2 codes, by the way. I have that note here, and if I go to the 0216T, you will see that it says if it's fluoroscope, go back to this code. So I put it in everywhere it could go. And you see I don't have any of these guidelines noted up or highlighted, and the only differences I noted on these were the different areas that come up. I wish my camera would focus better. But I can see where in some few areas, most of the time my notes are like insanely way too detailed and would take you days to do everything with them. I mean, just these pages alone versus what some of the neuro is, not a lot written there. Could always use more work on some of these areas, but it's it's a progress, it is a evolving and changing set, and I'm getting better. The more I teach you guys, the better we are. Single level is 93, and then the other 2 levels are the times 2s. Yeah. Okay, I see that clearer now. I keep thinking of these as one joint. I kept thinking of L2 and L3 as one area, because when you look at the spine, it is one joint, but in these CPT codes, they're looking at them as individuals, not segments. So that's 1, this is 2, and that is 3. But I refer to these as 1 because it's a combined block in your spinal cord column as bones that are just 1. So that makes more sense that these are not, that's not a 1, that is 2. Makes more sense. Yes, yes, yes. I knew working them out and trying to explain them with you guys would help me see more about them. All right, so we got this one. This is a leftover from last night, an E&M question that I didn't get a chance to go over, and then we'll have some more of these spine things. Let me check this one. It's times 2 because you have to report add-on codes twice when reporting bilaterally. Really? It's for the bilateral, not for the level, the L3. So that these two, the 94, isn't because of L3 or L4. It's because of I thought the 50 modifier does the bilateral. But this means bilateral? Let's see. I wrote all over this stuff. We did both right and left side at L2 to L3 and for L4. Okay, they did bilateral on all 3 levels. That's bilateral. That's bilateral. And this is bilateral. That's why you do the times 2. It's not that the 94 goes with the L3 and the L4 goes to 94. And because it's the same code, we don't write the code just twice. Because it's an add-on code, we times the 2. I thought it was because of the 2 additional levels. That the bilateral modifier is the reason why. We have that modifier right there. That takes care of that. And then those 3 codes, technically 1 code and 2 more codes, takes care of that, and then those 2. Book is only produced by AMA. Yep, it's only 1, but the ICD10 and the HipPix, there are multiple versions. AAPC is the best version to get, even if it's prior year. That's okay. Yep, the guideline is on that page right before. Look at the parenthetical. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, let's see. 93. Where am I at? Did I move pages already? Yeah, 93. For injections. Invading the sciatica joint, look at 64451. Use blank with blank in conjunction together. Yeah, we know that. Third and additional levels use the 9-5. So we didn't go up a level. We're only still stuck at a second level with our 94. We didn't do 3 levels. That's so confusing. If we're at L3 L2 and L3 is one level. Then this is the second level, like I was thinking, right? We times 2 because it's bilateral. Okay. We didn't go to 3 levels. That's not what this is. We only did 2 levels. Okay. All right. Lord help. Okay. So we've got our 93 bilateral. Is the only way we can do that CPT code, to note that we did right and left. The second level, this is only one level. The L2 to L3 is one level. The L3 to L4 is another level. Since we went up a second level, we had to do the 94. But because we did it bilaterally, right and left, that's why we do the times 2. We didn't do 3 levels. Like I was thinking, 3 levels, 3 CPT codes. Confusing. I like it my way better. But the correct way, according to the book, because I see that then if we went up another level, if we did the 3 levels, we would have had to use the 95. And this is the chart she was talking about on this page. It does the units and lets you know whether guidance is included or not, which is kind of handy, you know, for sure. And some of those codes right before the end. That's pretty cool. And this is for a 3rd level up. So we only did 2 levels in this example. From the L2 to the L4 is just 2 levels. We did them bilaterally. We had the 50 modifier to the first one. The add-on code gets times 2 is why for the bilateral. Does that make more sense, I guess, to you people that know how to code these? Because I sure don't. The little paragraph down at the bottom. Okay. For bilateral, why don't they have these underneath the code? What's so hard about putting them right here where we need them? I hate it when the guidelines are on separate pages, and they have room. They had room for parentheticals underneath these. They could have just scoochied and put your parenthetical underneath here. Lord, for bilateral faucets procedures, report 90 with the 53 with the modifier 50. Add-on codes, the 91, 92, 94, 95 twice when it's reported bilaterally. Don't report modifier 50 with those. That's awesome. Great. I have them marked and highlighted, but it does me no good if I don't move it to the codes. I'm one of those that has to have everything next to the codes. So I need to move that to the codes. Thank you. But seriously, what kind of weird rules is that? To have the modifier go on the mama code, but then the add-on codes, you just code them twice if you're doing bilateral. What kind of wizardry is that? It's like we're making a special soup for sure with its own set of rules. But yeah, I need to move those here. That will make that a whole lot clearer. That these codes, if bilateral, do times. And then this one, this one, mama codes, if bilateral, use modifier 50. Yes, yes. That makes sense. I just have to move it. I just can't leave it where it's at. I'm going to have to move it all. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. The levels are between. Yes, I realized the segments, and I knew that was right, that there are segments in between, but then I talked myself into thinking the 3 separate CPT codes would mean the 3 different L's. Because I know some of these codes back here, I don't know neurospine at all, that we do them by segments versus, what is it called? Where is it back here in neuro? We call them segments versus interspaces. So we've got a different, plus they call them vertebral bodies, like L1 to L2. If you're just talking about the L1, you're talking about a vertebral body, aka a segment. But if you're talking about the spaces in between, the interspaces, you're talking about an intervertebral disc. And some of these CPT code descriptors, they don't use vertebral body or vertebral disc. They use interspaces and segments in the CPT code descriptors. So it gets confusing with the different AKA terms too. Which part of the body are they talking about? Or they don't say anything and they call it a faucet. Good Lord. IOB and delivery, we did, anesthesia for the OB and deliveries for the, and that's as close to the spinal stuff that we ever did, but always the anesthesiologist came in and did that, and they were always by themselves, and they hated anybody messing with them or being around them because they didn't want the possibility of getting jostled or run into, or actually, because the OB rooms are pretty small, they wanted their space. They wanted to be left alone. They want quiet. They really don't want us around a lot when they were doing the spinal C-sections and doing the spinal blocks on those. So I didn't play around with a lot of spine stuff or eyeballs or toes. Those are my 3 areas. I know. Just let me add my 50 to all 3. No, Don, you were looking at it right. I wasn't looking at it at all. I love the rationale of 3 CPT codes means 3 different L's. That ain't gonna work. You wrote it next to all the codes. Yeah, I didn't do that. I need to do that. It was just something I did not want to learn. One more thing. There's so much to learn. This whole book and all the different codings and all the different stuff. I put off MOS for the longest, and that ended up being easy. I like those. And I didn't even learn E&M for the exam. I didn't want to learn it. Nope. And then when I got to taking my exam, I couldn't find any of the codes that were on my exam for possible answers because they were in medicine and lab and path and those sections. They were out of sequence. So I didn't know how to do E&M, and I couldn't find any codes to even look up to see what the answer was for lab, path, and medicine. I still passed, but there was a lot of this I just didn't want to learn. It's just so much. And nobody was doing notes like I do at that time to help. Yeah, I like those T ones. I can remember that. If it's ultrasound, I'm going to Category 2 codes. So I like my Category 2 codes. And I work in Category 2 codes with my HEDIS measures every day. So I'm more familiar with the Category 2 codes, even if they are spinal surgeries of this sort or injections. But I don't do anything neuro. Never have. But it's time for me to learn. Code sequences. Yeah, I know, Miss Starr, the C-sections are literally, oh my gee, really? You know, they take out the bladder and set it up on the mom's chest, and she don't know none of that's going on. It's like, what are you doing, Doc? What was that? Oh, thing? That's the bladder? Wow. And it's just sitting up there. Yeah, C-sections are fun. My first one, I was so talkative. My first one was holding the camera for Dad. All right, E&M, guys. Thanks for all the help. The nurse next to you passed out. She didn't eat breakfast that morning or ate too much. And yeah, you really should watch some of that stuff on YouTube before you go in on your day so you know what to expect. Back then, this was 1994 when I did my rotation. And no, they didn't have YouTube videos like that back then, so I wasn't prepared. But no matter what, I'm standing my ground. I did round, so it wasn't me getting it. Aw. Yeah, you have no idea what they're doing, and it's so surprising what they do to your body and put you all back together and send you home with some extra strength Tylenol, right? Let's take out a dude's bladder and set it up on his chest and see how he feels with his Darvocet and Percocet they give him. Oh, all right. We'll get off that subject. I know we're doing an E&M, right? I doubt there's just going to be just procedures, especially these procedures. I would get rid of B. It looks like a coding irregularity to me. My differences here is I've got a patient who's in the ER. I've got, what is that, NICU? What is 966? What is that? 266. What is that? Critical care for who? 24 months old or younger. So we've got peds critical care, CC, or another ER. And a lot of times the very last sentence in the question will tell us, am I coding for the ER doctor or am I coding for critical care or what am I doing? So let's see, we're doing facility charges. That's not helpful, but let's see. We did do central venous. We did intubation. We did CPR. So I know I'm going to have 3 codes. These 3 right here is for our intubation. Page 59 has a list of all the stuff you can do and not do in critical care, NICU, NICU, or PICU. And endotracheal is our 315. That's in all the answers. CPR, that's our 50 code. That's in all the answers. We don't have to worry about that. And then just the difference between our 55 and 56 is one little difference. And then we just have a difference of being in peds critical care or are we in the emergency room? It looks like the patient is just in the emergency room the whole time. So I'd fancy getting rid of that one. And then everything's the same now on the last digit codes. We don't have to worry about those. All we need is our level. And a kid who is in respiratory distress, no longer alive technically, if they're under arrest, do you think that's a 4 or a 5? Are they circling the drain or are they, we'll run some tests on them? That's how I think about those level of visits. So knowing that our pediatric patient is under arrest, yep, we will definitely be circling the drain. Yeah. There might be something in here that says MDM or something, but you really don't need it. If they are fighting to bring that patient back to life, you know that's going to be a high level of ER visit for sure. All right, let's do some more of these levels. Now we're going to be in the C-spine. So y'all help me with this one because I know I ain't going to know. All right. We're going to be in the 630s. So I'm going to see what my header is for those. 630. 630. All right. We're going to start out with our 15 and 20. Yeah. And then we got 2 that are 45. So it's probably a difference between our 45s. And knowing whether our 50 modifier goes with this or not. So we're doing bilateral again. Do you think they don't do it for the 48? I bet they don't. I bet they times 2 it, right? Now that y'all have taught me this, I can see where I think that maybe D is the answer. Yeah. Let's see where we at. Where's our guideline for these? 43 to 45. I want the 15s. 15. Yep. Of course, they don't have anything down here. We got to find our guideline. Wherever they're going to put that, huh? Ooh, what am I getting? Oh yeah, trash cans need to be taken down. Getting the alarm. Let's see, where are we at? We're doing this to be done on C4, C5, and C6. 15, 45. What's our differences in our headers? Our headers for 15 and 20 are under lumbar lumpectomy. And then our 45 code, is that under a different header? It's not a different header. But it's just a lunectomy with a foraminotomy, where 45 is a lunectomy with a faucectomy and a forectomy. Ooh, Lord. So what are we doing today? We are doing a faucectomy. A lunectomy and a 4. So we're doing all 3. 1, 2, 3 things. Do we have our 50 modifier somewhere? We do, up above them, right? On our 63044. Do not report 50 modifier. Okay, what about our 45? What about our 45? Where's that? I swear, I bet it's D. Yeah, cervical. Because the other ones are lumbar. Yep. Get rid of those because they're lumbar. That is easier. And then these are cervical. Then we just need to know, would we do our 50 and 50? And since we didn't do that our last time, we did the times 2. But are we doing anything bilaterally, or we are doing bilateral cervical lunectomy and fusion. 20 is cervical. 45 Yep, 20 is cervical, but it's only the lunectomy, right, with the decompression. Hemectomy versus our other one is not a hemectomy, and it does bilateral or unilateral. 40, we don't use the 50 modifier. We've got to, because 45 says it's unilateral or bilateral, you wouldn't use the 50 modifier at all, because the CPT code descriptor says unilateral and bilateral. I still think it's D, because it's got 1, 2, 3 procedures with the decompression. I don't know, fusion? Is fusion in there? Forty-five. Do not report 44. That's all 44. Yeah, prepare interspaces with fusion. Lunectomies to prepare interspaces for fusion on the same interspace of the vertebral. Blah, blah, blahs. Chloe, what you doing? My notes for 48 and 45 all say no modifier 50. They're all C-spines and they're one segment. Let's see what our answer is. Our answer is D. So if we're doing so 45 is the C4. We're doing C3 through C6 lunectomies with fusion. They also did the formectomies through the whole thing. And they're bilateral. Okay, how do we associate the 45 and the 48 twice with C4, C5, and C6 and are bilateral? So C4 goes with 45 CPT code because it's unilateral or bilateral, right? Each additional vertebral segment. What was our other one that we were working on, the 93 or whatever? Was it an each segment thing or was it a interspace? Some of them say segments and some of them say interspaces, which drives me nuts. So I'm just curious, what was the other one? This does for segments. And segments are, according to our musculoskeletal section, the vertebral body, which is this. This is a segment. This is a segment. This is a segment. Our previous question, what was that? Were we doing the 644s? 4493. We were doing a level. What kind of level? We were just doing a shot into a level, which only ended up being 2 levels because you combined 2, which, yeah, okay. Thanks for the follow. Anybody know what I'm associating these with? So our C4 is our 45 CPT code. Our 48 twice is just for this level and this one. Well, each segment. 48 is for that segment, and 48 is for this segment. And we did it times 2 because there was 2 more additional levels, right? We counted them as 1, 2, 3. And that's why we have 1, 2, 3. The bilateral doesn't mean anything in this question because the CPT code descriptor is unilateral and bilateral, and we don't have to add or add a times to make it bilateral this time. And in this question, each one of the C4, 5, and 6 equals a CPT code. It's opposite from the other one that was an injection where it took like L2 to L4 to make a 1 or something like that, like the L3, whatever. That made a 1. These differences are crazy. Am I driving y'all nuts by analyzing it too much? Knee replacement. Anesthesia is pretty much the same. I like the O2s, but then we'll get a difference between the spinal injections on this one. I have it right. The previous one was timeses for the bilateral part. This timeses is done by the segments. Oof, God. It's just something new to learn. And I struggle learning new stuff. I want to make sure I got it really right before I move on. One more thing. So what is our 01402? 01402. Let me check that sucker out and let's see. 01402. We've got anesthesia for knees. These are all open procedures. One is NOS, non-specified. One of them's arthroplasty, and one's dislocation. I'm assuming it's the 2s. Knee replacement surgery. So if we're doing the knee replacement surgery, which anesthesia code is that one? It's the same thing as your, get that off of there so you can read it. So our O2 just says total knee arthroplasty, which means AKA knee replacement surgery. So put your word replacement beside that one, because we're definitely with our O2. So we can get rid of A and D because we are doing a replacement. Then we can just go to our differences of our 623. What header are we there? 623. And they kind of leave you hanging with that second example and not put any parentheticals anywhere. All right, 1, 2, 3, 26 and 27. The only thing that is different in that is imaging. Did we use any imaging at all? Do we see any imaging? Boy, I'd hate for them to replace my knee and not take a picture of it before they got me off the table. Oh my gosh. Do you see any? You see any image guidance? I guess they didn't need any. The knee doesn't need a whole lot. But it'd be nice for them to look around, make sure they're doing it right. But I don't see any image guidance. He just slapped it open, slapped it in, and closed it up. So we know that's going to be our C again, right? No fluoroscope means R26. Easy peasy with those. There we go. We don't have to worry about the last code because it was the same in both those answers. Oh gosh, I'm glutton for punishment. Here's some more lumbar. All right. So I see that 47 is down twice. And look, it's the difference between the 50s and the timeses. So I think we're going to get really good at these, looking at all these different examples. I even have a case coming up. So 63047. Hopefully I didn't put 2 examples down because I was looking in a ton of places for some practice exam questions, and hopefully I didn't put down the same examples. But this is lumbar. I don't think we've done much lumbar, and these are segments. I wrote in these are segments. So a segment is like, you know, L1 to L2, whatever. Those are our segments. So it's just knowing whether we're going to add our 48 with a modifier or not. I have in my notes no mod 50 next to the 48, so I know D is going to go away. So I think A is our answer, right? Let's check it out. C. Yes. D is a coding irregularity. We do have something that is bilateral, but we're only doing one between the L4 and the L5. So that counts as 1, right? And because we're doing it bilaterally, we add the add-on code. Do I have it right? That's so weird that an add-on code means bilateral. That's new for me, too. Is that right? Is that what that means? That if it's bilateral, you add the other code. Let's see. Yep. If bilateral, well, you do the 43 twice. If it's here's our answer. Each additional segment. So that means no. This is unilateral and bilateral. Bilateral has nothing to do with it. we're only coding the L4 and the L5. So this means 4 and this means L5. Bilateral has nothing to do with it because the CPT code descriptor has unilateral and bilateral already in it. So that's why we're coding the 48 and the 47. That's not one segment, this is 2 segments. Oof. I just need to keep working in them. Keep working in them. Oh, yeah. Just if you didn't do exam 2, somebody took exam part 1 today because they're doing theirs online today. If you're going to take part 2 and you didn't do E&M, don't do the process of elimination with E&M. Go on and write down your differences between your visits like I do with all of them. This is ER, this is ER, this is PEDS, critical care, that was a CC. Just write down where each one of those visits would physically be and then just pick out your differences. What do I need? I need to know they're 28 days old and they are only in the ER. Then you can get rid of anything that's not ER and then do your differences. So I think E&M comes on the second part of the online exam. So, all right, I'm going to get this. All right, this is C13s, and we got one lowly C14. Let's see if there are 6 is what I was trying to say, not C. But let me go to those and see if they are a switch in headers. So our 13s are probably a difference between the 43 and 45, right? 43 and 45 are really close together. One of them's an other. It's posterior. The other one is a craniotomy. Yes, yes, yes. Our 58, our 14 is not a difference in header at all. And they're also a craniotomy. They're both, one of them is subtemporal. 50 is ocular. So this is eye. And then our 33 is O2. That is an O2. And then 45 is posterior fossa. Yep. And then 1322. Stauroplasty. Ugh. No, with or without intercranial. With it. Yeah, but there's no lobes going on there. All right. Oh, look, we got proper names. I love seeing proper names. Proper names is in one of those CPT code descriptors. And I know that is a 53 all day long because the proper name is mentioned in the parentheses after Arnold's name. Both 58 and 43 are very similar, but one of them is just an explorer. And this is actually a procedure, and this one's just exploring, but this is an actual real procedure that they're doing. So I love highlighting what's inside the parentheses, especially if they match it up with a name of a procedure named after somebody, a proper name. Super handy dandy. We can also say that this is for a malformation. Is that? Yep. See, the malformation is also a word in the CPT descriptor. So that's handy dandy. I highlight that one too. Is there anything else? They did do the right cerebral tonsil was dissected free. So that's kind of neat. Right cerebral tonsil was removed during this CHAR procedure. So that's a note you could add in, that they was dissected free from the medulla, and the gush of the spinal fluid came with good decompression. Posterior fossa content. So it was just attached to the wrong particular thing. So they're dealing with a CERE bell tonsil. Huh. Very cool. Add that to the notes. And there's your answer too, by the way, if you needed it. Oh, Lord. C44s again. We got one lonely C55. We've got some radiology added to 3 of them, which we might not need, right? I do see some timeses. So let's go to 644. I see the 90 listed twice. So I'm going to go to that code first. So 644 over here. 644 90. We're under that header that does not have its parentheticals with it. We're doing single levels. It does have imaging guidance fluoroscope with it. What's with all this mess? What's going on? Well, fluoroscope is included. If fluoroscope is included and it's in 3 of the answers, but only one answer doesn't have fluoroscope in it, our answer is probably D, right? Good Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, but I only have, I don't know how many codes. Eliminate A. Well, 79 and 80 you can't use together. We have a do not, probably. 70, don't even know where that code is at. 4479. Yeah, it has to be D, right? Because everything has fluoroscope in it, and we don't need to add those codes. But why? Okay, help me figure out, why is the answer 3 CPT codes when I have so many T's from T2 to T9, but I have 3 CPT codes. The 90 does how many? Whatever's, that's single level of something. And then our 91 is done by itself, and then our 92 is done by itself. So we have 3 levels. 3 levels. Well, unless it says additional, let me see, 3 levels and any additional levels. So it could be 3 plus, right? For our 92, and our 91 does the second level, and then our 90 does 1 level. We have how many levels here? Doesn't this count as 1, 2, 3, 4 levels? So this is to T3. This is to T5. This does from T7 all the way to T9, or T6, I guess, right? 6 to 9. Oh, sorry. That does 6 to 9 because it does 3 or more. Is that right? $42 is for the 3rd and any additional level. Yep, additional levels also included in 4.2. Yep, confused me on this one. Okay, so the the first thing I noticed on this question was that no matter what, we have two answers that have the same first CPT code. You know, I like to look for associations, answers that look so similar. There's only one difference, and that difference is what they're asking about to see if we know. The other thing I noticed is that 3 of the answers include radiology. And we know right away, looking under R90, that it includes imaging guidance. It says with imaging guidance. So I know anything with 90 with imaging is going to go away. Looking at our 79, it also includes with imaging guidance, so we have to get rid of that one. Our 20, if we even wanted to go that far and just look them all up, if you had plenty of time to spare, hopefully you went and got that ADA and got an extra hour. You have to look at MAMA code to see if that includes fluoroscope or something. I don't see that it does. So that one might be okay if you were doing that type of procedure. But what we're doing is not an autonomic nerve. We are not doing something in that nerve. We are doing something in a faucet, right? We're doing faucet joints, which is in the CPT code descriptor of 90. Our 05 code that goes with our 20 is a ganglion. Ganglions hang on our tendons. If you ever heard about people getting ganglion cysts and stuff like that, they hang out on tendons and stuff. So 90 is a faucet. 20 is a ganglion. It's more of a tendon area, not a inner space in between the spinal column. So we know we're not doing C, if that makes sense. And our only answer can be D, because it doesn't include the fluoroscope, because we don't need that, because it's included in the CPT code descriptor. It's the only answer with that. Even that answer remotely is being correct. The rest of them are all wrong because we know that CPT code doesn't need any radiology. The other reason it's right is because this one does from T2 to T3. This CPT code, because it does the second level, we'll do our T4 through our T5 joint, socket, segment, whatever you want to call it. And then our 92 one does third plus any other additional. So that will do our T6 through our T9, because there's 2 more here, this one and this one that we still need to do, and our 92 will take care of both of those. This one is that one, this one is that one, and then these 2 go right in here with those, or that CPT code. I hope that makes sense. 4492 says do not report more than once per day. Correct, because if we went and we did T10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 to 99, it would all be included in that one code, because it'll do the third segments on up. 4 segments, 5 segments, 6 segments, whatever. That's all inclusive. It'll do everything else. You only have to add something for these, and then this will do everything that's left over. Very confusing, of course. I will keep going over these until we get these 100% good, correct, and explained easily. I just really appreciate y'all hanging out with me and doing these with me today, because I'm learning a lot too, along with you guys. And the more I see and learn, the better I'll come up with better ways of trying to explain how the answer is. But the easiest way to figure out what the answer is just to know that most of these 644s include fluoroscope. 644s, right there, they include 7,000s, and that is a coding irregularity. Anything C44 does not need any 7,000s. So that eliminates those two right off the bat. 7.5 is a different procedure. It does not include radiology, but we are not doing a ganglion. We are definitely doing a faucet joint, which matches with our 90. Yes, no worries, Annie. I just have to figure out how to do them myself, and then I'll figure out an easier way of troubleshooting the question and being able to answer it a whole lot easier than my struggle going through it. I have to see every little thing that matches and really struggle through the question and see why the answer is why it is. And then I can show y'all an easier troubleshooting way to figure it out for sure. Because I don't want to just know how to troubleshoot it and answer it blindly. I like to know exactly why I'm going to answer it that way too. And I know a lot of you don't have that time needed to spend with every single CPT code and figure out why the answer is what it is. Y'all have got a whole lifetime to learn that. I need to show y'all more troubleshooting ways to get through this a whole lot easier. And that 644, just know that those already include radiology, and you can get rid of any 7,000 codes. That will help you a whole bunch for sure. Yep. Ooh, we got some T's. Look, we've got some category 2 codes. So if we're going to do the T codes, the category 2 codes, which start off really weird with a 0, and no, we're not in anesthesia, what did I tell you guys that they are going to have? It's not going to be fluoroscope. It's going to be what? What was it? Oh, cool. But you don't want to have to run all the way back to radiology to see that. We want to put beside the 64520 and the 644, what all these are, the 90, you want to put no 77002. You want to put that beside each one, a big circle with a line through it by every single one of those 644s. Or just remember, 644 gets no 7,000. Or if you want to make sure the notes exactly say what they're supposed to do, go to 64479 and write nope on the 77003. Yep, you want to do that with each one of those. Okay, for this question, what'd I tell you guys? Perfect. Good job, Annie. If it's ultrasound, we're going to be back there in the category 2 codes. If it's our 4/4s, it's fluoroscope, and it's already included in the codes, right? So we've got 2 with ultrasounds, and we have 2 with fluoroscopes. So those are the only key terms we need to go look up really quick in the question. Are we doing ultrasound or are we doing fluoroscope? And second sentence tells us ultrasound. So right away, I can get rid of C and B. And then I just need to figure out Am I doing with a 7,000 code on top of doing ultrasound? And so that just looks really wild. 1, 2, 3, 4 codes versus 2 codes. What's AAPC going to want is the answer. Do you think it's A or D? Just looking at it like that? What do you think? Check this sucker out and see what in the heck is going on, but I think it's going to be D out the gate and not do 4 codes. We're bilateral. There's a ton of crap. We've got the 4s, 5s, and the S's involved. We've got, from L3 all the way to S1. But there's no way in Hades the answer is going to be anything with all that mess in it. And 26 is a professional component, and adding another radiology on top of already doing ultrasound on all of these. These include ultrasound. I can't imagine what other radiology they would want to add. That just makes no sense when each one of these includes radiology. Ultrasounds, anyway. Just a major coding irregularity right there. Now, how? T016T 50, and then the 17 times 2 turns into all of L3 all the way to S1 and doing a bunch of stuff. Lord, I don't know. Let's see. I know I wrote that much down and got that much ahead of the game before when I looked at these, and I wrote down if fluoroscope or CT see these codes, and then when you go to that code, I wrote down if ultrasound, go to that code. So I did that much on this page. It does have the parentheticals right where they should be, right underneath the code, thank goodness. And it does say, if bilateral, use modifier 50, which we do have on the T16. Now, how T16, that's supposed to be 1 level. So that is 1 level, right? Okay. And then we go the 17 is for a 2nd level, and if we did it bilaterally, thank God it's written right underneath the CPT code. We do it twice. But how does L5 to S1, is only 1 more segment. They wrote all that mess out to confuse you. L3 to L4 is 1 segment, and then L5, is another segment. They didn't need to write this because it's included over there, and then that one's included over there. So that is 2 segments, 2 levels, I should say, and then they're both bilateral. We do the first segment with the 50 and our second segment times 2, because we don't do the modifier 50 on that one. Yeah. And see, again, they mentioned them right here in the proper way. They wrote them up here as propaganda because they wrote it from L3 all the way to S whatever. But this is the correct way. Should always stay at the bottom of the questions. Always. Yep. And we got ultrasound. And where's our bilateral at? Right there. First word. Bilateral. Very cool. Oh, we got to do not for the 42 too. Handy dandy. Now, why can't they do those 644s just like these T codes back here. Let me know everything I need to know. I can use this one with that one, and if my bilateral and my do nots, all under each individual code. Super handy dandy. Love it. They need to keep it that way. Oh, Chloe wants to play fetch. Say, hey, Chloe. She brought me a toy. You want to play? You ready? Go get it. All right. Oh, God. I have been on 2 hours. I have some more of these. Let's see if we can't do them quickly without too much fuss. But D is our answer. Hey, what was that? That was cool. August? That is cool. Have I only got one more? Let me see. I'm not sure. I might have one or two. I don't know how many I got. So let's see. 644s. We're doing no, right? No radiology with them, right? 644s. So we know our answer is A because it's the only one without a 7 in it. And we didn't even look at the question. Ooh, we learned something tonight. That's cool. That is so cool. Okay. I think this is that big one. Okay, what have we got here? We've got 622s. We didn't do 622s tonight. What is the 622? Oh, Chloe, did you bring me your toy? Where is it? What's our 622s? Do they have something like that now? 622, 90, 84, and 92. I like those kind too. It would be nice if they were on the exam like that, right? Yeah, a ton of radiology before they do these 622s. I'm just curious. What the heck are they? They've got 90 down twice. They got 84 down twice. And then 92 by itself. So it must be the 84 and the 90s, right? Maybe. And then add an and that's the only one without fluoroscope in it, is C. The rest of them all have radiology in it. Huh. 62290. Did I even get to that code yet? No. 62290. Does it include radiology? Imaging. Imaging is included in the 87. It's included in the 87. It's included. That's 90. It includes radiology. So does the 87. What about 85? 84 includes a CT scan. '92 includes radiology too. 92 includes radiology. We wouldn't code that one. 84 is a CT. It includes radiology. Probably wouldn't use that one either. Yep. And our 72s. 72 has no guidance in it. But if you were going to include guidance, you would add the 29 with it. If I'm under the right code, 72, yeah, you would add the 329 with it on the 72. you wouldn't add a 7,000, which they have a do not underneath it too. So this whole case has to be C, right? And this thing's huge. It's 2 pages long. And yeah, it has to be C because that's the only one that doesn't include fluoroscope. And these are one of the difficult COC questions. I grabbed it from there because they have harder outpatient surgery ones to do. And the only difference that we figured out is the radiology. We know our answer is C from all that garbage. Look there. Woo! I learned me something today. Radiology with all these codes. So we know our 622s and we know our 644s include radiology. Don't code the 7,000 codes with the 622 and the 644s. Handy dandy. Love it. That was a lot. This practice question is big, but we don't even need it. We can do it without even looking at the question. Category 2 codes. Yep, those are temporary codes. That's awesome. That is everything I did actually have for tonight, so that's cool. We got through them all. I've got some more we can go over on Wednesday. What would y'all like to do? We've done spinals. We've done hernias. Y'all got any other kind of headache areas for sure that y'all would like to go over? Oh, Miss Robinson, I got that one because I looked at the CPT code descriptors for not the radiology codes. I know all this starts out with the 7,000s because those are radiology codes. So I didn't even bother with those. I didn't look at them because we were able to eliminate radiology codes from the 644s. So my concentration on this one was paying attention to the 622s. And I just went to all of those codes, the 92, the 84, and the 90, and the 72, and looked to see if each one of those included radiology, the 7,000 section. If it did include radiology for all those, then I know all of these are a coding irregularity except for that one right there, because it's the only one that doesn't include the radiology at the end. These do. So that gave me a clue that this one was just like our previous examples that we had, where we could get rid of every answer that had a 7,000 code in it. We knew that our answer was the one without it. So I used the same logic in figuring it up. Now, I haven't gone through here and matched up my L's and all this to make sure that I know that this code is for that one, this code is for that one. It got me to the right answer, was to know that I don't need to add that last radiology at the end. When I looked up their CPT code descriptors, they all have fluoroscope included, either in a second child code, or they all had fluoroscope already included in the descriptor. So our 90 is a child code, so I had to come up here to mama code, and mama code includes guidance already. Plus we got a ton of do nots. You could look at that 87 and it says don't use it with the 03. I can go to the 87 or 84. I think it was the 90 that I was on. The 90, it says don't use it with that fluoroscope. Our 92, 72. Our 72 right there says don't use it with that one. So 72, you can't use it with the radiology. So it's all in the do nots too. You're welcome. More injections and neoplasms. That sounds great, Go-Kart. You need to work on the practice exam questions. If you got 2 weeks, you need to go through exams A, B, C, D, E, and F. Take all the questions. Go through them just like I did tonight. Find out why the wrong answers are the wrong answers. Find out why the right answers are the right answers. Then you need to go through here. We know our answer for this one is the 90. Well, I need to write down something from the CPC exam question that makes this recognizable so I'll know it next time. So what they did, their procedure that they did was a whatever discography of this and this. So I would write that word. Oh, if I could get my phone. I would write those 2 words underneath this CPT code, because this CPT code that's in the answer does not say those words. We do have the dysgraphty, but they called it a PROVOCATIVE, and I don't see that word here anywhere. So I would match up what the CPT code descriptor is has versus what my question says, so that I can match it up better next time in case, you don't have Jen with you and I point out things and make it look easier than when you're all by yourself. So when you're by yourself and you don't have me pointing out things, you will have what's in the questions to grab your attention and go, oh yeah, that is the procactive discectomy. That is what I'm looking for. And I know no 77, what is it? What did they have on the other 90? The 90, they had the 76000 is what they had. Not a 7, but they had a 6. Anyway, I'll fix that with some white out, but no 76000. So I know that we're not going to use radiology with it because this includes guidance. It does not tell you in the CPT code descriptor that it includes guidance. I had to write that in for my notes, seeing somewhere. Oh yeah, it does. There it goes. Includes imaging. Okay. Sometimes it's hidden. But be sure you have that. It already includes it, or write an extra note so you know. For every one of their practice exam questions, you should have a note beside them. And if it had a diagnosis code, you go to it and write that same note there that you have here. And those practice exam questions, you want to go through and write some sort of scenario down beside each one of the answers so that you know that those can go together. No matter whether you look up that code or just this code. Look, our 622, no radiology. Just those kinds of things will help you out for sure. All those little practice exam questions. Yes, their practice quizzes are very much similar to what's on the AAPC. Yes, very much so. Also do a Google search for any anatomy pictures in the beginning of your chapters. So when you do the eyeball, they have labels of the body parts of the eyeball. You need to know their functions. What does the whatever body do? Well, it holds the lens in place. What does this ligament do? It holds the lens in place too. What does the cornea do? It reflects light. You can Google eye anatomy function. bring up pictures, and they'll have pictures just like this one that'll tell you all the body part functions. Do that for every chapter heading that has an anatomy picture, and that will help you for your anatomy questions. You only have 5 on the exam, so I just recommend Googling those functions, and that'll help you out a whole lot for that particular part of the exam. But I'm exhausted. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go hang out with my kids before they go to bed. I bet Travis has already gone to bed, and I will be back on Wednesday. We'll do 2 more hours of tutoring. Yes, like right now it is 8:48 here in Arizona. So I start at 6:30 Arizona time zone so that you can fixate this on your time zone. I know, Chloe, I'm coming. My cats want me to play too with them, and I got to feed them. So anyway, it'll be 6:30 Arizona time zone. This TikTok live will be up on YouTube sometime tomorrow. And there is a ton of other videos on there, over 200 of them, 2 hours long, with tons of info, just like today, except for usually I'm more competent and know what I'm doing. I just do not know how to do spines. So thank y'all for being Bixby. Stop it. I will see you guys on Wednesday. You're very welcome. Never, ever, ever say it said me. That's so cool. Jesus, take the wheel, Dawn said. Let it go. Let it go. Thread says, can we go over E&M and how to determine the moderate? Yes, I love that. I got you covered on E&M. I am the queen, the godmother of E&M for sure. From what I am seeing, I think I need to put more notes in the codes. Girl, I got notes. Oof. Yeah, tons. Dang it. Stop it. Stop it. You're welcome, Miss Robinson. Thanks, Cashmere. You too. Love all the hearts. Thank you, Rosalind. Hey, Goddess. It's 11:49 there. Get you some sleep. I'm so sorry. 11 p.m. in Mississippi. You know, I'm from Horn Lake, Mississippi. So I've lived in Mississippi a lot in my lifetime. Good night, Annie. Thanks for hanging out. It's good seeing y'all. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Butterpecan. Miss Edwards, what are you doing up? I'll see you in the morning as soon as the boys leave, okay? We'll do a few more. Talking to Miss Edwards. We do tutoring during the week. I need more notes in my book. Yep. Use these practice exam questions as a guide as to what to put in there. You don't need to do that boxing and highlighting other things. Just only highlight what's in the parentheses if the CPT code has something in a parentheses. A lot of them don't, which is fine. But the ones that do have those parentheses, be sure to highlight that. And if it's unilateral, bilateral, that kind of thing. Other than that, you don't really need to highlight anything. I do it from the exam point of view. In the exam, we only need to know what's in the parentheses. South Haven, girl, I went to South Haven through 6th grade, 2nd through 6th grade, and my mom went to high school there, and I wonder, did they get married in South Haven? Oh, we cousins, because we're close. I lived in Bullfrog Corner in Horn Lake, Mississippi. Lake Forest neighborhood, back when there was only 12 houses around that neighborhood. Back in the day, now I'm sure it's overgrown with a million people. Yep. South Haven, I went to the mall there all the time. And that big mega church on the corner. Good gracious. Yep. Old stomping grounds, bringing back memories. All right. Do I offer any classes and how much? Desi, I love to teach for free. I don't charge for teaching. I just teach here 2 hours, 3 nights a week. here on TikTok. Now, once a month, I do a workshop, and it's $10, but it's 3 hours if you want to do a Sunday with me. I don't do any chatting, and definitely don't do any learning for myself. That's more, so if you're going to pay for $10 for my, time, then I'm going to make sure it's really productive. We'll go through about 50 or 60 questions right off the bat. I don't talk about my kids or whatever, or play fetch with the cat, but I do those once a month. I was doing them twice a month, but I got busy with the summer. The kids were home on the summer, so I backed it down to once a month. But I do those on Sundays. I start those at 2:00 on Sunday. We do 2 to 3. Sometimes I go 4 hours, but we'll do like a whole section, like a whole E&M or all cardiology. And we did all lab and path. I did that one for free. It's on YouTube if you need it. For my birthday month back in April. So that's the only teaching technically I charge for, and that's just going from practice question to practice question, showing you how I would handle it. But I like to teach for free. Yeah, I don't like to charge. I know they charge in $2,000, and then they're telling you that, and if you ask them a question, they say it's in a guideline or something and tell you to go look somewhere or something. It's like, yeah, I just feel bad about it. I'm here to help you guys. I'm just nobody on the internet. I do guest education for AAPC, but I do it for free for them too. They ask me if I want a stipend or whatever, and I'm like, no, you want me to teach a class? I'll teach it for free. And I don't know, I'm just partial that way. But if you just want page by page notes of my notes, that's the only thing I charge for. And I have a grant too, that if you need any for free, we sell a document on Etsy that's called What's Been on the Exam the Last 45 Days. All my students help me put it together, like the ones that took their exam today will tell me nuggets of what was on their exam today, like that CPT code was on it, or that anatomy term was on the exam. And if you buy that, it's $20. I do give away free notes to people that are in need and stuff like that, or tutoring time. I've given away $2,000 worth of free one-on-one tutoring time from that document this year. So that's pretty cool. I've sold 45 copies of it at $20, but given away that many free tutoring hours because it's so much fun. I'm not here to make $1 billion, but it does take a lot of time to do these notes and then make copies and do it as a PDF and post them. So if you do want them, that's the only thing that I charge out, because I don't think it's fair that you guys are paying thousands of dollars for courses and none of them are from the exam point of view, and they don't do any good for you guys to pass the exam. They should teach from the exam point of view. And just trying to help out and see if I can't change things a little bit. I even won an AAPC contest 2 months ago now for having good note ideas. And I'm waiting on those prizes to come in so I can pass them on to you guys. So anyway, I'm just trying to help, because if I can make a difference and get you in a better field of work and making more money for you and your family, that's going to help out you guys, and that's going to help out your community, which will help out all of us in the long run, And it's a great field to go into, because they're always going to need somebody for healthcare. No matter what, you can find a job somewhere. And I can help with that too. We've got a job resources in our Discord group. So if you still need help and need to know where to go, just go to my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. Go to the social media tab. You'll find the YouTube videos. You'll find the free Discord, which is my study group, where there are tons of my students in there day or night, 24/7. You can get answers to your questions right there. I am only one person and I try to answer everybody, but I've got there's 10,000 of you guys or 12,000 now and just me. I don't have any team or employees or anything. I'm trying to hire Twinkle. I want her to help me, but I'm waiting on her to get back from vacation or something so she can help me with the emails and stuff. But I got messages coming from Messenger, Facebook, Discord, emails, even TikToks and Instagrams. I didn't know they had messages. I got thousands of messages on those things and don't know how to get to them half the time. So just lots and lots. But the girls are everybody, MK, tons of people help me out in the study group to answer a lot of questions. But just go to Medical Coding by Jen. It's free. Go to the social media tab, help you out. To know where to start to make your notes, just go down to the CPT book prep right there. And then YouTube videos has tons of videos right there and a link to my YouTube right there too. You just got to click on it and go. I'll help you out, give you a starting place on where to go and how to start making notes. Coding Godmother. Yep. And if you do want one-on-one tutoring, that is scheduled at my website under booking. And I am going to make another workshop coming up soon. August, I'm thinking around the 14th or the 21st. One of those two Sundays we'll do another $10 workshop if y'all want it. But meantime, still always here Monday, Wednesday, Friday for free tutoring. And we'll do a workshop on the 14th or 21st. I wonder what we should go over. We've done male, female. We've done neuro. We've done E&M. We did cardio. We did musculoskeletal too, I think. What am I forgetting? We did eyes and ears. We did male and female. We didn't do ears, did we? Did we do eyes and ears? Maybe I should do one on eyes and ears. But if you need tutoring, I like to do tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But if you need a Saturday or a Sunday, I can work around y'all's schedules. 1 or 2 Saturdays a weekend, but not every weekend because I do got to hang out with my little demons. In fact, I got to let my cat out. Here you go, Chloe. You ready? And my boys are being so quiet. I wonder if they already went to bed. I hope I didn't miss them. You're so cute. And he hates being on camera. You're not on YouTube, right? Because you know you're not allowed to be on YouTube. What are you on? He's watching Discord. Or, no, what is that?
Twitch.
Twitch. That's Twitch gaming. Who are these people?
Keyboard makers.
Do you still don't have a period, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Did Travis go to bed? Hey, yes, kitties, I gotta feed you. There's Sammy. There's Sammy. Say hey, Sammy. Yes, my Travis. Did you go to bed?
No, right here.
Okay, all right. Bathroom. Okay, I'm gonna get off here. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Say hi, Chloe. Yeah, all right. Endocrine. We haven't done endocrine? Okay. Yes, you can schedule something for Sunday. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. The cats are circling.